Yeah, hello everyone again. So I hope you enjoyed the previous video. Now we're going to discuss something really important about instrument flying, that is radial interception. Radial interception is basically a procedure related to a VOR station that involves switching of radials from say one radial to another radial that you are or you have to further go and so on. Interception is to track a radial. Okay, in the first video, if you remember, I mentioned radials are by default outbound. Radials are always considered outbound. Okay, so now there are four types of interceptions. So outbound to outbound, inbound to inbound, and inbound to outbound, and outbound to inbound. Again, the key important part in radial interception is imagining where exactly you are. I told you exercise in the first video how to strengthen your imagination by using the sectors theory. Just random numbers in 1, 2, 3, 4 and ask your friend or maybe yourself that you are in so and so radial, which sector you are in. So it is important that you imagine where exactly you are. So these four procedures will become very easy to do. So before we start this, I would like to give you a slight idea about the VOR needle. Okay, so a VOR needle is basically, it is manually controlled. It is not like the OBS needle. OBS needle is independent of all the parameters like altitude, attitude, speed, heading, everything. But the VOR needle is what you set in the course window. Alright, so again I'll just discuss about Garmin G1000. That's the easiest thing to do that we are doing. So there's a course window on the right side of the HSI. So whatever value you set here, say example I'm just taking 190, a needle will set, maybe it could be right, or it could be towards the left, or it might as well be in the center, saying that you are on the radial. Alright, so now what the important point to discuss here is, on the needle, when you set 190, it may be suggesting that you have to go towards the right or you have to go towards the left. The radial is towards the left of you, and otherwise it may be as well that you're on the radial itself. Now there's an arrow mark here. There are two pointers indicating like this. This one means the to indicator, this one means from indicator. Alright, so if you're going towards the station, this indicator will be on both, and if you're going towards if you're going away from the station, this indicator will be on. Alright, and that's the key important part, what exactly course you set in the course window, and this will depend on all your radial interception. Okay, so let us move on to radial interception. So say example, I'll just give you a quick review. Say these are the radials, and even this is a radial, but just for example we're taking such radials. Okay, so radial interception is basically hopping from one radial to another radial. So you're on this radial, you have to go on this radial, and say you're going out, suddenly he's been called in, you have to come on this radial. If you remember in the early video, I talked about course reversals. Course reversals is a different thing, that is to come back on the same radial inbound or go out on the same radial. But this is to hop different radials from one radial to another, another radial to another, due to some traffic, technical issue, or any of that sort. So skipping or hopping from one radial to another is called radial interception. Okay, now the terms outbound, inbound are clearly simple to understand. Outbound means you're going away from the station. This one is an outbound aircraft. This one is also an outbound aircraft. Inbound, this is an inbound aircraft. The one that is coming in to the station is the inbound aircraft. Okay, So first one, we'll discuss outbound to outbound. First one, outbound to outbound. It's the simplest of all, outbound to outbound, and also inbound to inbound is simplest of all. So first we'll discuss outbound to outbound. I'll consider giving you an easy example so that you understand and then you can implement on other radials. So before I start, one more thing. When you're outbound, your course and your heading will be same. When you're inbound, your heading will be the reciprocal course. Now what does this mean? Say you're going outbound on 120. If your aircraft is here, your heading is also 120 and the course window is also 120. Is that clear? When you're going inbound, say here, say on 080, you're going inbound. Alright, so at this point of time, your heading will be 260 and your course will be set as the reciprocal radial. That is the reciprocal radial is your course. So reciprocal of 080 is 260. So course window will have 260 and your heading also will be 260. Okay, so that's all about it. And now we'll start discussing outbound to outbound. If you guys have any queries, you can just drop by and comment on the video. I'll surely help you out, and other details are also there on the description. Okay, so outbound to outbound. The first step, I always insisted that imagination is important, right? So first you should imagine where exactly you are. You took off some runway and then you are on this radial, say 120. Okay, you're going outbound on 120. At this point of time, your heading, your course is both 120. Correct? Okay. So now you've been asked to intercept radial 140. So basically, the tower wants you to come like this and intercept radial 140. Alright. So now the first step is to set your course window. In this case, outbound to outbound, first step is to set your course window to 140. Okay, fine. This means your course window will become 140 and the needle, position of the needle, say you were on 120 at the moment, it will immediately turn to the right, indicating that you have to turn right towards the radial. The radial is towards your right. Okay, but by how much is the question. The second step is to find your heading. Okay, second step is to find your heading. Now I'll give you a quick mathematical formula to find out your heading. Okay, heading determination. So in this case, first you should know that your current radial is 120, desired radial is 140. So the steps are difference between the two, 140 minus 120, 20. Second step, multiply difference by 3, 60. Third step, make correction to the course, desired course. So 140 plus 60 will be 200. So the heading to fly is your 200 until interception. Now this is in the case of turning right, because as you can see it is to the right, so you'll fly 140 plus 60, that is 200, and you'll intercept this radial. Fine. So in case you have to intercept another radial that is towards your left, say 100, aircraft has to go like this, correct? So in this case the difference is also 20 again, but the difference is 20 again, multiplied is also 60. The correction to the desired course is 140 minus 60, right? That is 080. So in this case you have to fly heading 080. So heading to fly in for the case we are discussing is 200, and then after interception you intercept the radial, the needle will start moving towards the center like this. You come back on heading 140. Is that cool? It's simple if you imagine and know where exactly your position are and which side to turn. Okay, the preliminary step here is to know where to turn. Now where to turn will improve with your imagination power. Now you should know that the radial 140 is towards the right of 120, so you have to turn right. So where to turn? We knew that it was a right turn. Okay, so that way this outbound to outbound is complete. Now I'll give you a laid down procedure so that you can follow it for all the interceptions actually. So step 1, where to turn. This is the important part. Step 2, set desired course. Step 3, heading to fly. Step 4 is come back onto the heading. Come back to heading of course. These 4 steps can be followed on all the radial interception patterns, and I'll even show it to you again and again. Okay, so, and the standard procedure I have already laid down. Current radial, desired radial, difference between them is 20. Multiply the difference by 3, that you'll get as 20 into 3, 60, and make correction to the desired course. Desired course is 140 plus or minus 60 depending on the turn, which side you want to turn. Okay, so now we'll discuss inbound to inbound. Okay, inbound to inbound. I'll take a different sector so that we understand this part of the sector as well. So say you're inbound somewhere here on 240, you've been asked to go on 220. Okay, so now at this point of time your heading and your course at this point of time in the first position is 060 and your course is also 060. I mentioned earlier, your inbound, when you're inbound, your heading and your reciprocal radial is your course. Okay, reciprocal radial of 240 is extended, if you see, it is 060, right? So your course is set 060, your heading is also 060. You've been asked to come to 220. Okay, that is inbound on radial 220. Okay, so your first step, again, you should know where to turn. In this case, if you imagine your radial is 240 and the radial to intercept inbound is 220, so the radial is towards the right. So first step we have completed, it's a right turn. Okay, second step is to set the desired course. Desired course in inbound is the reciprocal of the radial to be intercepted. So 220, reciprocal of that is 040. So in the second step we'll set the desired course window on the knob, that will be set as 040. Okay, again you have to find out heading to fly. What is the heading to fly that you need? Same procedure, difference between the two radials, 240, 220, 20 into 3, that is 60. Now here you have to apply what is your heading to fly. So you take the desired course, that is 40 plus 60, 100. Okay, so your heading to fly is 100, and after you intercept the needle, again here in this case the needle will be towards the right. You have to take a right turn and the needle will start moving. It will come like this, and then your heading to fly will become 040 and your course is also 040 set. So this is inbound to inbound. At the end of the 4 procedures, I'll mention to you guys which the addition and subtraction that you guys might get confused here, plus or minus. I'll explain at the end of the video. Okay, so this is inbound to inbound. Let us do the next one, inbound to outbound. Okay, now this is a tricky one to do. The last 2 ones which I had mentioned, inbound to outbound and outbound to inbound, but once you get a grasp of it, it's all about imagination, where exactly you are, what position you are, and then you can just intercept whichever radial is given to you. So inbound to outbound. Say, now we'll take a different sector so that we understand more. Say you're on radial 060 inbound, okay, and you've been asked to go on radial 050. Let's take for example 050 outbound. So first thing we should know that our course at position 1 is set is 240, correct, and your heading is also 240. At this position, when you're intercepted, you're on the track, your course is 240, heading is 240, correct. Now first step, you have to know where to turn. If you imagine again, you're on 060, you have to go out on 050. 050 radial is towards your right, so you should know that it's a right turn, it's a right turn. Okay, now again, desired course, as I mentioned already, outbound courses are the radials itself. So the desired course will be set is 050, so you'll set 050. You have to find the heading to fly. Third step is to find heading to fly. Heading to fly. Same thing again, 60 minus 50, whatever the difference is 10 into 3, 30. Take the desired course here, 50. Now in this case you have to subtract 50 minus 30, that is 50 minus 30, 20. So once you turn from here to heading 20 to 020, somewhat here, and then you will intercept, and then you can come back onto heading 050. Is that clear? It is all about imagination, where you are, where you have to go, where to turn, right turn. So we do this. Okay, the last one is your outbound to inbound. So let's take this sector. So you were going out on radial say 250, okay, and you have to come back on radial 240. Okay, so again at this point of time, your heading, your course is 250, 250 both. Always remember, outbound, your heading and your course is the same. It's the inbound one that you have to set the reciprocal. So the first step, as we just imagine where you are and where you have to go. So as in this case, imagine you're on 250 going out, you have to turn on to 240. So it's a left turn, as you can see, and imagine as well. So where to turn? It's a left turn. Okay. Second step, all the steps are common in, as I already mentioned here, where to turn, set the desired course. So the desired course in this case, inbound, it's an inbound track. So desired course will be reciprocal of the radial, that is 0 6 0. This is we have set desired course. Third step, heading to fly. Heading to fly is first you take the difference between the two radials, that is 10, 250 minus 240 into 3, 30. Take the desired course 60 and add 30 to it, 90. There will be a little confusion about addition and subtraction. I'll just clear it out on the next page. So add 30 to it. So from here, if you fly heading 090 and you'll intercept this course, and heading will be 060 after interception. Okay. So now there will be a confusion between when to subtract, when to add, and all of that sort. We'll clear it on the next page. I hope all the 4 procedures are cleared. You can just rewind the video and have a look again. And the most important thing is you have a lot of practice on the ground. Take a lot of examples. I'll just put up another document so that you guys can practice some examples and answer to it. Okay. So now we'll do the addition and subtraction one, if there's a confusion regarding it. So you can just note down these are standard procedures: outbound to outbound and inbound to inbound, turn to do. If the turn, it's common for both of them, the same procedure. If turn is towards the right, we'll add. Turn towards the left, we'll subtract. Inbound to outbound, outbound to inbound. Turn is towards the left, we shall add. Turn is towards the right, we shall subtract. That's why the first step I always insisted on you guys to know is where exactly to turn. If you know where exactly to turn, it's easy. Outbound to outbound, inbound to inbound. Since you know the radials and the course interception that you're going to do, is you can just find out if it's a right turn you have to add, it's a left turn you have to subtract. If it's an inbound to outbound or an outbound to inbound, if it's a left turn you have to add, right turn you have to subtract. For example, let us just check and verify. Alright, so outbound to inbound, taken this example last one I taught you. So it was a left turn, if you can see it was a left turn. So left turn, again I'll just explain quickly. Left turn, desired course was 060, that was the desired track we have to follow. Heading to fly 10 into 3, difference between them is 10 into 3 equal to 30. 60 plus 30, it was left turn, we have added 60 plus 30, it's 90. And then we fly heading 90 and we intercept the inbound course. So these 4 points are very important to remember. If you remember this and you remember the procedures, it's the easiest thing to do if your imagination is really good. Now, one important key point I want to tell you guys here is the procedures I've mentioned to you are not all the way standard. They are the ones that are generally followed. If different instructors have different ways to teach, some want accuracy, some want interception to be clear where to turn. So if this all is not followed, you can always maintain plus or minus 45 degrees irrespective of the radials that you're flying. Okay, so for plus 45, for example, let's take the VOR station 090 radial. Radials by default mean outbound. So suppose you have been asked to intercept radial 120. So just apply the 45-degree correction to the desired radial 120. So you'll fly heading 120 plus 45. Since outbound to outbound, it's a right turn, you add. So it will be 165, the heading to fly. Also, for example, let us take another one, like say inbound to outbound. Suppose you're on inbound track of 090 and you've been asked to intercept 100 out. Now if you can see, it's a left turn, so you have to add, right? So 100 plus 45 again, that will give you 145. So basically all of these guys also use plus minus 45 because it's an easy thing to do, but it's always good to know the fundamentals and how radial interception really is. So the key important part of this is to imagine. Imagination is a important thing to do. So just imagine, just know where your radial is, to the right or to the left, and you can just follow this addition, subtraction, whichever, depending on this. So these are standard procedures you can follow. Alright, so see you in the next video. We'll be doing entry patterns into the hold over a VOR station. Alright, bye bye.